Hello everybody, welcome to series 4 of our interview with Robert Hann of Entrust. My name's Anthony Groom, I'm the Business Sector Manager here at Arrow ECS within our Network and Security Division. Robert, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you, yes. I'm Robert Hann, I'm in charge of the technical sales team in data security at Entrust.
Perfect, thank you Robert. So we're here today to talk about post-quantum readiness, but before we do, tell us all about post-quantum, quantum computing. What's it all about?
Okay, so quantum computing was envisioned decades ago by quantum physicists. And they identified that in the future, we would have computers using quantum mechanics to compute. We're getting close to the point when that is actually going to happen. So over the last few decades, there's been tens of millions invested into, or hundreds of millions invested into quantum computing. Now, a quantum computer can do mathematics, can do computing that a traditional computer can't do. So the promise are things like you can develop new drugs. You can shorten the drug development time, thus lengthening the patent that you hold on the drug, making tens of billions more profit for pharmaceutical companies. You can predict weather better. You can trade more accurately, making more money for banks and investment banks and so on. There are many, many parts of our life that will be affected by quantum computing. It's a true revolution. People are talking about it. The CEO of IBM is talking about it being akin to the invention of the semiconductor. But to prepare for quantum computing, we know that a quantum computer can break public key encryption, the algorithms that we rely on across our entire landscapes to protect our data today. There are algorithms called RSA or ECC, but we don't need to get too technical. NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology in America, have been running a cryptographic competition, a post-quantum competition, to identify new algorithms that will be able to run on classical computers that are quantum safe. So they will keep the data encrypted and protected so you cannot break those algorithms with a quantum computer. Every organization in the world has to migrate their classical public key encryption to what we call post-quantum cryptography. That's not a small task. It will take multiple years. There are tens and thousands of instances of these algorithms in big companies. That migration will be expensive. It'll have to be carefully planned. And it has to start with knowing where you're using that cryptography. And even that's hard. So organizations have to do this wholesale migration to PQC, and they need to do it probably within the next 3 or 4 years, because the prediction today is that we'll have quantum computers as a service by 2030.
So that's why partners then, really our partners today, should really care about post-quantum.
Absolutely. I mean, if anyone is in data security,
right,
especially if you're involved with the cryptographic solutions like PKIs, keys and secrets management, hardware security modules, there will never have been a more lucrative time to be providing solutions in this space. We've never had anything so exciting in cryptography since the Greeks invented it. But if you think about it, perhaps the best way to explain it, to try and give you some kind of understanding of the size of this opportunity, every organization has a PKI, whether they use it, they build it themselves and operate it themselves, and big companies have 20 or 30 PKIs, or they buy it from a cloud provider or whatever. every single one of those PKIs needs to be migrated to PQC. That's millions of PKIs. PKIs give you the opportunity to sell services, design and build. They give you the opportunity to sell hardware security modules. They give you the opportunities to sell PKI licenses and all the ecosystem around it. That we're talking tens of billions of dollars will be spent just on PKI in the next 3 to 5 years.
Wow, quite some number. So how would you, if you were talking to a partner today, how would you kind of advise them on, getting that competitive advantage when talking to their customers about post-quantum?
Well, you have to have a vehicle to get to a post-quantum world. And Entrust have got the best vehicle in the business. It's called CSP. Cryptographic Security Platform is a post-quantum ready platform. So the PKI that within it already supports PQC. The HSMs that are within CSP already support PQC. And they also have mechanisms for you to easily migrate. It's got a very technical name. It's called hybrid bridge. But again, we don't have to go into the technical details. What Entrust is providing with CSP is your vehicle. It's your car that will take you from classical to a post-quantum world in a controlled, cost-effective and streamlined way, starting at this very front end with what cryptography have I got? Where is all this public key cryptography? We call that discovery. You have to create that inventory, and then you can plan that cryptographic migration from classical to post-quantum in a careful way. And CSP delivers the entire journey. We've got many partners that are so excited by CSP because they see all these opportunities for customer engagement through the 5-7 year post-quantum journey. And it touches everything.
Wow.
Cryptography is everywhere in your landscape. And public key cryptography especially. So you've got all these opportunities to talk to customers and say, okay, let's migrate that part now. Oh, that'll require a new Cisco firmware, or that will require a new Oracle instance. And all those activities build to deliver partners recurring and repeatable opportunities to sell.
So it seems like there is a massive opportunity then for these partners. But would you say there is any regulations or any hurdles that they'd have to overcome or that need to be aware of?
Well, one thing is there is a level of skill, but Entrust can help you with that. We're here to help our partners sell, advise, discuss about this whole complex journey. There are, of course, regulations and there's mandates coming out from governments that are helping to drive this. They're not as strong as we would hope yet, but as the months go by, or the next year or two, we predict that the UK government are going to start putting stronger and stronger incentives to be PQ ready. They're going to model themselves against the US, and the US have put in very clear deadlines for US government and commercial organizations to be post-quantum ready. So that's going to come. Now that just adds extra fuel to this fire. But most organizations, once you explain what's happening, go, I need to deal with this. And they start to elevate you up to more senior levels to talk about how do we prepare. And it's really about building post-quantum into your day-to-day activities. It can be as simple as starting by asking all your supply chain, when am I getting the PQ version of your product?
Absolutely. So picking up on the prediction that you made, where do you see cryptography in 5 years from a UK point of view?
Well, NCSC, the UK government security arm, have already given guidance. They've said that all critical infrastructure needs to be PQ ready by, I think it's 2033. Personally, I think that's a little too far. And it's not because I have a vested interest. It's because I fly all over the world and talk to governments and at conferences, and I know the Australians are multiple years ahead of the UK in terms of their mandates. So they're saying 2030. The Americans are ahead as well. So where will cryptography be in 5 years? It will still be a big bowl of spaghetti, but hopefully at least the organizations that, especially the regulated ones that have to do something, they'll have started, if not completed, their untangling of their bowl of spaghetti, streamlined, and the partners of Arrow will have been engaging in multiple procurements over those years to get them to that post-quantum ready place.
Perfect. Robert, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us for Series
Thank you.
4. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you, Anthony.